How's it going, guys? Buddy Christ here. Thought I'd make a video, my first one narrating, but had some questions about the build and the apartments. First, this is the Glen apartment right here. And yeah, my favorite one so far. Pretty nice setup on it. And yeah, let's get to the real fun stuff, the build. Alright, is my character right over here. This is Buddy Christ. And now we're going to go to our skill tree. Alright, so here's what I've done so far. Only got about 5 more levels to go. So aside from extra perks I'm going to get from leveling up any other skills, this is going to be pretty much it right here. Like I was saying before in the comments, it's a real glass cannon build. Nothing in body, only 5 points in there. Pretty much it's all relying on getting in, getting the kills, and getting done before you run out of either slow-mo or dodge slowdowns. Which, oh, by the way, for this build right here, I'm using the Dynalar Sandevistan to slow down time right there. Activate that by holding E. It's going to be different depending on whatever hotkeys you have, or if you're playing on controller. Obviously, as you can see right here, when Sandevistan is active, hope I'm saying that right, it increases your crit damage by 15% on one mod. Other mod I have increases by 15% as well. And the last mod, surprisingly enough, increases crit chance by 5%. Thought I'd give them a chance. You know, give them all a chance to have a chance to live at the end. But usually at that point, the bleed will take care of them. Alright, optical camo for the question earlier about the camo. That's the mod that I'm using for that right there. Part of the integumentary system, which I'm guessing is a really fancy way to say skin. I should probably double check that. Alright, but let's get back to the actual build. Alright, so under the cool tree, which used to be stealth, like ninjutsu, is called ninjutsu now. This right here is where I'm going to get most of my quick damage to start my combos. By combos, we'll get into the cold blood tree on that. But you've got skills here like Dagger Dealer, where it comes back to your hands after 6 seconds. And then you have skills like Juggler right here, which after you get a kill or a crit hit, you get the knife back immediately. Usually you want to go for the kill, so you're not detected. And you can start building up stacks of cold blood as soon as possible. Everything else that I put on ninjutsu is stuff increasing skill speed, headshot damage, movement speed after a takedown. Stuff that's going to help with sneaking around, but I don't focus so much on poison or anything like that. As you can see here, most of my stuff is going to be put on cold blood over here. And most of my damage I'm going to be counting on is from bleeds that I apply to the target. So what cold blood does for you is defeating an enemy, cold blood's stack up for 7 seconds and increase movement speed by 2%. Doesn't sound like that big of a thing. Stacks up to 3 times, you know, okay, that's 6% movement speed. Not that big of a deal. You do get a skill later on that lets you add another 2 more right there. So that gets you to a full 10% debuff right there. So, not debuff, sorry. Buff right there on your speed as you're going along. Alright, now, Blood Brawl, of course, for this build, being mainly swords. While Cold Blood's active, get more damage with melee weapons. And then everything else is survivability for increasing defense, increasing resistances, anything to increase cold blood. Like for example, landing a crit has a chance, 50% chance to add a stack of cold blood, and stuff like that's just gonna be a debuff. Critical conditions, real good, increases cold blood by 50%, even without the slowdown. It helps giving you time to get around from target to target and not lose those stacks. And having cold blood active can also save your life at the end. Blood swell right here is a real big help for that. And then coldest blood was also a big one right there. Being able to increase the max stats, like I was saying before, you're going to get more stacks of cold blood, more speed, more damage. Basically, once you get 2 or 3 kills, your guy starts snowballing. So start the fights by using a throwing knife if I have to, or if I can. Get a few kills with that if possible, at least 2 or 3. So by the time I start engaging, my guy's already got that speed boost. He's got the resistance buff right here from Will to Survive. And Coagulant is also another good one right there. It's just more utility. stacks of cold blood are moved one by one, not all at once. Otherwise, you're going to be at 5 stacks, and if you, for whatever reason, have to take cover or can't find a target in time or waiting for somebody to reload or a hack to burn its course through you, you're not losing all your stacks immediately. You got, you know, from 5 to 4 to 3. You have 7 seconds around roughly on each one right there, so it gives you time to get back in the fight right there. Alright, like I said, I wanted to keep this video kind of short. If you guys want to see the exact skills that I have on the tree, you can just pause the video and see each one if you want to copy it one by one. Like I was saying before, no body, so very much a glass cannon build, but real fun when you get into a fight and you just see your targets and pick out, okay, which path can I take, jumping from target to target. To help with that, I also am using Byaku, which I got from the Wakako missions. You finish all her gigs and you get this one at the end. Awesome sword. Doesn't really explain anywhere here in the tips though. I learned it from another YouTuber, but basically holding down, charging a heavy attack will dash you to your target, similar to the Mantis Blade one. Alright, and one more thing, you'll notice here I have some skills and tentacle ability. For the most part, it's not really part of the build. I could have put all that in body if I wanted to, but I do like crafting in this game, so I've used this to basically level up my gear with me as I've gone through. This a little more role-playing type aspect of it, depending on how you want to play it. Could have gone engineering if I wanted to throw more grenades, but not a really good ninja if you're blowing stuff up that loudly. And intelligence, I always like the breach protocols and the quick hacks. They're useful. Being able to ping all your targets and know where everybody else is real helpful in the fight. Does feel like cheating sometimes with a wall hack like that, but since my intelligence is only 5, I'm a pretty dumb ninja. I'm using the Sandevistan, like I said before, instead of the Cyberdex. So I don't even have mods to put on any sort of quick hacks. Again, the Sandevistan, very helpful. You got about a, go back there, you got about a 30-second cooldown on it. But in between the cooldowns, you'll see in my videos, I use a dash while holding block on the sword. And thanks to Cold Blood being built up as high as it is, and usually those dashes are pretty slow, I'm able to get around and move a little bit faster. I use Sandevistan over here, this mod, because it slows time by 25% instead of 50 like the other one does. The good thing about this is that it slows down time, but not so much where it makes it harder to move around. With all the buffs stacked up of Cold Blood, yes, with a 50% slow time, or time slowed down by 50%, I'm still able to move faster, but it's still going to be a bit of a crawl to get around the characters, kind of like the dodges are at the beginning. With it slowing it down by 25%, you're not freezing everybody so hard in place like you are in the 50. I guess you could say about half as much time as the other one, but you are going to be able to still move around. You're going to feel that buff that you get from Cold Blood for the speed, and so it'll help you jump from target to target and line up your Byaku dashes a whole lot easier and have a lot of fun with it. I mean, seriously guys, this has been the most fun I've had with the build. I've liked the game since launch. Patch 1.5 really helped it out a lot. Hope you guys are having fun with it. Anybody who gave up after a while because, you know, it kind of had a bit of a rough launch, I highly recommend giving it a try again. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. First time narrating one of these things, so any constructive criticism or feedback is appreciated. Be gentle. And any requests you guys have, please let me know. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you like what you saw and you want to see some more.